Two-wheeler fans, aficionados, and assorted wannabes. This is Trip on Two Wheels, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I was planning on shooting a test ride video of a Triumph America. However, some unforeseen circumstances have led me to bring you a different type of video, and this video could aptly be called Trip Dodges a Bullet, or Trip the Inattentive Weasel, or Trip got really damn lucky, or something of the sort. So what happened? Well, I was going to head into CTX Motorsports and test ride the Triumph America. It's a great bike that they have for sale. They're used. I'd never ridden one before and wanted to check it out. So I ride 35 miles, maybe 30 miles, into the dealership and get there. And the thing that I didn't do, well, I'll get back to that. So I get to the dealership, I'm sitting around, and in comes a husband and wife. We start talking. It turns out he's a subscriber to the channel. So they wanted to see my bike. We went out and looked at the bike, and he sat on it. She sat on it. And when she sat on it, he, and his name is Bailey, and she's Angie, and I think I owe him a big favor for saving my bacon. And so Bailey said, "Hey, you may want to look at your back tire. It looks a little squishy. It looks a little low." And I looked at it, and sure enough, and I'm thinking, my ride in, didn't feel that way. Gee, I wonder what's up. So as soon as the guys in the garage, or the repair area of the dealership, get a chance, one of them, a guy named Steven, I asked him if he would take a look and do a pressure reading on the tires. Well, the front tire was fine. It was at spec. The rear tire was 10 pounds, 10 freaking PSI. And so I'm like, holy crap. So I had him take a look at the tire. It turns out there's a piece of metal in the back of the tire. Now, I have no idea if I picked up that piece of metal on the way to the Triumph place or what happened, but I can guarantee you that I would not have eyeballed that wheel before I left that dealership and hopped on the highway to go home. So what did we do? Well, I hung out there for a little bit longer. And right before I was getting ready to go home, they showed me the piece of metal. It's not that big, but God knows how big of a leak it is. It looked like it was leaking pretty small, but riding on it, how much more of a leak that it might cause. So I said, "Hey, can you fix the tire?" Well, they had just sold their last plug, literally, and they didn't have tires for my bike. So what I had them do was air up the tire completely, actually put 1 or 2 more pounds than they're supposed to, than the factory spec calls for it on those tires. And so now I'm riding back home. Now, I would have hopped on a pretty busy thoroughfare with about a 60-65 mile per hour speed limit, and then from there hopped on the highway, and I'd have probably been doing 70, 60 and then 70 miles an hour, a good share of the way home. Now I'm not going to do that. Now I'm going to go the back way. I'm going to take some side roads, and I'm going to take access roads on the highway when I have to. So I'm not planning on getting anything over 45 miles an hour on the way home. Now, thank God this wasn't not caught on a front wheel. You'd think that I would have felt this in the handling of the bike, certainly if it was the front wheel, but I didn't feel anything out of the ordinary on the way to the dealership. So you might think, well, Trip, you picked up this piece of metal right before you got there and it leaked out while you were there, and common sense would dictate that. However, like I said, I was there about probably an hour, so he filled it up to spec. And we waited the hour, and only about a pound leaked out. So I'm pretty darn sure that I had already had that piece of metal in the tire from the prior time that I rode it. and I normally make a point of things to check the air before I go, and I just didn't do it. And you know, bad on me, very bad on me. So anyway, so what might have happened if you know, I take off at you know, 10 miles an hour or 10 pounds psi in the rear wheel? Again, not as serious as the front wheel, and probably not as serious as a blowout. But what happens if I get in a predicament where I've got to brake hard? You know, now true, this bike has ABS, so you know, the effect may not be as pronounced as a bike that didn't have ABS, but I could have been in some serious damn trouble. So anyhow, today's video, instead of a test ride of a beautiful, beautiful Triumph America, is, hey guys, remember to always pre-flight your bike, as pilots would say. Make sure you check it out. Check the chain. Check the brake fluid. You know, check the air in the tires. So besides being a little bit more diligent with checking my tire pressure, maybe a little bit more frequently, or certainly every time before I go on a ride, what is the plan from here? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is call the Kawasaki dealership, and these tires are about 4 years old, and I'm just going to play it safe. I think I'm going to have them both replaced on Tuesday, and you can never have enough fresh tread underneath you when you're riding a motorcycle. So I am going to get them replaced on Tuesday. I may do a video of that. I'll take it to Kawasaki of Universal City. Before I would have left that Triumph dealership, I'm pretty sure I would not have looked carefully at the rear wheel and put a little weight on it, and that's where I need to improve. I'm going to improve, and I hope that you all will take heed of this potentially close call that I had today, and improve your motorcycle ownership / riding habits. So until next time, this is Trip on Two Wheels, feeling a bit relieved, asking you to ride safe and ride often, and check your tires and your tire pressure a little bit more frequently. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.